matter, Charles?
Matter? Nothing's the matter. Why should there be anything the matter?
You look so cheerful, I thought something had to be the matter.
I'm not cheerful. I'm just happy we got the wagon train rolling again. As long as you mentioned it.
I didn't mention a thing.
What I'd like to know is why we have to stop in Kincaid. We're only 4 days out of St. Joe.
You're not complaining, are you?
No, not as long as they don't close up them saloons. And I reckon that wouldn't make any difference to you. You always got that Kate Crowley there running that freight line. That's why we're stopping in, Mr. Chris, ain't it? Huh?
Well, why don't you just let me worry about our schedule? Or maybe you haven't got enough to do. I can rustle up a lot of work in case you got too much time on your hands.
I was just passing the time of day, Mr. Chris.
Well, it'll pass a lot quicker if you just mind your own business.
Gee whiz, what'd you say to make him so mad, Charlie?
I ain't so sure, Barney, but I'm sure I ain't saying it again.
How's it going?
Some of the folks are finding out their rigs aren't as fancy as the salesman said they were, but other than that, everything's all right. Chris.
What?
I was wondering why we're making a pickup in Kincaid. I thought we loaded everything in St. Joe.
We're doing it because I want it that way. You any objections?
Of course not. Neat way to get mad.
Well, the only time I ever get mad is when somebody wants to meddle into something that's none of their affair. When I want your criticism, I'll ask for it. Where's Bill?
The tail of the train there, he's with the stragglers. What'd you do? Put some fly-off-the-handle powder in his coffee this morning?
What'd he do? Get on you too, huh?
Yep. And all I did was ask him why we're picking up that load of supplies from Kate Crowley.
Say, he got on me the same way this morning. I'll bet you anything he's getting sweet on that Kate.
Could be.
Who's Kate Crowley?
Why don't you go back in the wagon and peel a potato or something? Huh?
Boy, she must really be something. Every time anybody mentions her name, everyone gets mad.
Look at him, sitting over there mad at an old tomcat in a rainstorm. But he ain't too mad to do up his city clothes, is he?
I didn't know better. I think he was going lady calling.
Yeah.
Hi, Coop.
Coop.
I thought the idea was to get to the coast as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Oh, what you got on your mind, Coop?
We're laying over already when we just got started.
Well, you got a good point there. I've been wondering about that myself. Why don't you go ask him?
No. Better not.
Well, by golly, I think I will.
Good.
I knew you were miserable and hard to get along with, but I didn't think you had a mean streak in you.
I had to learn the truth sometime, Charlie. The sooner the better.
Well, I'll go get some bandages. On second thought, I think I'll just stay here and watch the fracas.
Say, Chris.
Oh, Coop. You and Bill get those stragglers picked up all right?
Oh, yeah, there was only 2 of them. Yeah, it looks like we're making pretty good time. Which brings to mind something that's been kind of puzzling me a little.
Well, I certainly wouldn't want any of my people puzzled.
Well, we're only 4 days out of St. Joe. Now, why do we have to stop at Kincaid to pick up supplies that we could have gotten in St. Joe to start with?
You don't think I know how to run this wagon train, Mr. Smith?
Now, you know that ain't it, Chris.
Well, then it better not be anything at all. I hired you to help ramrod this wagon train. If I'd wanted a vice president to ask a lot of questions, I'd have hired one.
All I asked was a simple question.
Well, simple is hardly the word. If I want to go into Kate Crowley and Kincaid and get some extra supplies, that's where we'll go. Between you and that Duke and Worcester acting like a bunch of half-grown kids. You didn't really want to know, did you, Coop?
Well, I was kind of curious. I think I started out more curious than I'm ending up being.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll get a little water.
I go help you. That's it up. Hold it.
It's empty.
Yes, that's very funny.
We were just kidding around a little bit, Chris.
Well, I certainly don't want to stop anybody from kidding around. So you, Duke, can go spend the rest of the night kidding around with the horses in the remuda. And you, Worcester, can go and unload number 3 wagon.
Oh, now, Mr. Chris.
And be quiet about it, because I'm a very light sleeper. Now get.
Sir, yes, sir.
Say, Chris, I've been wondering, how come we're stopping over in Kincaid to get supplies?
tarnation are you supposed to be doing?
Oh, well, what I was doing, I was guarding the train.
What you're doing is showing off where that pretty Freeman girl can see you acting like a hero.
Freeman girl? What Freeman girl's that?
The one you've been making manly faces for ever since the week before we left St. Joe. The one hiding behind that bush over there.
Oh, that Freeman girl. Oh, no, Mr. L, I was really guarding the train.
From what?
Everything. Indians, for instance.
There haven't been any Indians this far east in 10 years.
Well, look at that campfire off in the distance there. I'll bet there are Indians.
Son, for every Indian you can show me in this part of the United States, I'll show you a steamboat sailing across the prairie. There just aren't any Indians around here anymore. Charlie! 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 Shoot! They got our horses! If I ever lay my hands on them, I'll hang them so high the buzzards will never be able to find them. Well, how are you feeling this morning, Mr. Worcester?
I'm stiff and sore and I'm tired. Do you have any idea how long it takes a man to unload a wagon filled with bags of flour?
I most assuredly have. I've unloaded a few in my time, too.
Good.
Well, Coop and I'll ride on ahead. We'll see you in town. You better escort your sleepy friend in, Bill. Otherwise, he might not make it, huh?
All right.
See you in town.
Right.
Anybody would make a sick, ailing old gentleman stay up all night and work just because he was funning about Kate Crawley.
Yeah, a man your age needs to sleep, Charles.
Huh. I can get along half the sleep you kids do.
What was your idea?
I sure wish somebody would tell me who Kate Crowley is, anyhow.
Why, Kate Crowley is the most lovable, most feminine, gentle, soft-spoken little prairie fowl you ever did see.
You clod-footed idiot offspring of a buffalo wahoo. Who taught you to drive a wagon?
Doggone it, Kate. You know how old Nell up front gets spooked?
Who was doing the driving, you or your lead horses? Look at here. I imported them goblets all the way from Philadelphia. What am I supposed to do with them now?
Maybe you could glue them?
Oh, go fall in a hole. You think it's funny, Chris?
No, not as long as you got that bullwhip in your hand,
Well,
kid.
I was counting on them goblets. You ain't never drunk beer till you had it out of cut glass. But will you look at that?
Comanche, huh?
A buck and a squaw. Just like they owned the town.
Well, I better go check on my goods. Coming, Coop?
I'll be along in a minute, Chris. I want to see if I can hustle them up with them horses. See you, Miss Crowley.
Your first trip with Chris Hale?
Yeah, it is. I've known a lot of wagon masters. But when I met him, I knew I wanted to work with him.
Well, he had a lot of people to choose from when he picked you. Reckon it's sort of a natural.
Yeah, I reckon so.
Get out of here, engine. Now, you get it. Engines ain't allowed in saloons, especially this one. Get out of here. I told you. She tried to lay me open. Throw her out of here. Those are the Indians that stole our horses.
Yeah, let's get them.
I ought to blow your head off. These Indians stole our horses. Just look at the brands.
Somebody get me a rope.
Aren't you getting a little previous with hanging talk, mister?
Now listen, we hang people for horse stealing, let alone Injuns.
Well, not today.
All right, let's get this over with. Come on.
Let her go. I said let her go, you big thief. Go on, get out of here. Get out of here. Go away. Go on. Go on, get out of here. Go away. Get out of here. I'll show you a real hanging. Go on.
Will you hold still for a while?
Go on. Yes. Come on, Pocahontas, before these big brave critters try to scalp you.
Chris, will you take this scalp lifter away from him?
You have a real talent for getting mixed up in things, don't you?
If you'll give me a hand with this yearling panther, I'll explain.
Now, that I'd like to hear.
I don't know what you thought you were doing, but you couldn't have rode down a worse street. If there's anything less popular around here than a Comanche, it's two of them. Ain't gonna do any good howling like a coyote. If you had to steal a horse, why did you have to ride it into town? Honey. Blue eyes. Never saw a Comanche with blue eyes.
Now, just what was it you boys had in mind?
These two ran off with our horses.
So you were just gonna string him up?
They clubbed me down in my own camp.
Well, now, just simmer down.
Why should we?
Well, because Indians look at horse stealing a little differently than we do. First thing Papoose learns is how to steal a horse.
Besides, I don't hold with hanging women.
She's a Comanche squaw.
Now, you just take it easy. We'll take care of this. Besides, you're too mad at them to use your heads anyway.
Well, what are you gonna do about it?
Well, I don't know. This sort of thing never came up before.
Besides, you got your horses back. Let that be the end of it.
All right, Charlie. I'm the one with the sore head. Come on.
Well, I still think you ought to do something.
We will do something about it. You leave it up to us. Well, now that you got him, what are you going to do with him?
Well, I don't know. Lock him up?
Jail burnt down last year. If you turn him loose, he'll probably get hanged. He is a horse thief, you know.
It ain't the same with an Indian, Chris. You know that.
And this town especially doesn't like Indians. So I guess you'll just have to stand there for the rest of your life and hang on to him.
Well, you ain't helping me any. Wait a minute. I know I can't do anything with him around here. What if I take him back to the train, put him on ice for a little while till things simmer down?
My fidgety customers? I told them I'd protect them against Comanches, not make them live with them.
Well, I'll cuff him to a wagon wheel or something. Let him go tomorrow, maybe.
All right, but it's your responsibility. And he goes tomorrow.
Thanks, Chris.
Now I better find Kate and see if I can get her mind back on business.
You might as well talk to me, honey. You're gonna be all right. I sent for Doc Curley, but before he gets here, I gotta know who you are.
Kate, I don't want to stop you from being Good Samaritan, but I've got to get my supplies loaded and get out of here.
Take a good look at it, Chris.
Good looking.
Go on.
This is white.
That's right.
Those tattoos, it's a Comanche slave mark. I've been Comanches around here for 10 years.
What difference does that make?
Well, just that she might have been white once. Looks to me like that was a long time ago. Maybe it doesn't make any difference now.
Why, Chris, here, let this stinking thing just say. Now, honey, come on, tell me your name. Look, I'm Kate Crowley, and I'm your friend. Now, you got a name, ain't you?
Molly.
Molly. I'll bet it's been a time since you even said. How long you been with the Comanches?
13 years.
13. Well, we better get you out of them skins and into some civilized duds. You get out of here. I'm gonna see that she gets a hot bath and have Doc look her over.
Rome.
What?
Rome. Don't hurt him.
Boy, you better start cooperating or you're gonna spend the rest of your life cuffed to that wagon. You can start by answering a few questions. Where are you from? Now, don't tell me you don't speak English. You know what I'm saying. Well, I don't know enough on the subject to write any books about it. But I do know what the law does to horse thieves. They're gonna hang that squaw.
I'll kill him!
You do savvy English. Pretty good, too, for a Comanche. There's nothing wrong with the woman. But what's wrong with you?
Are you sure she's all right?
She's all right. Kate Crowley's with her. Yeah, I thought something was funny about her. A squaw, I mean. The same with you. You're dirty and greasy enough to be a Comanche, but you ain't. I spent enough time on the State Plains to know that. She your mother?
No.
Coop, you remember that squaw you got mixed up with? You know what?
Yeah, she's white.
No, she's no squaw at all. She... Doggone it, who told you?
Well, that ain't all. We got another one.
Well, you would have thought he was the way he acts. Looks like you're right, Coop.
Is that straight, you white boy?
I am Comanche.
Oh, yeah.
I am young man ashamed of his eyes.
Couple of escaped captives, huh?
Yeah, it looks that way.
Still a horse thief, though. Look at them eyes on him.
Charlie, you know it ain't the same with an Indian.
We better find out who he is real quick. We're already a couple days behind schedule.
From the looks of this boy and that squaw, or that woman, they're already more than a couple days behind schedule.
There. See how pretty you look.
No. I looked in a mirror once years ago. I don't ever want to do that again.
Well, I ain't exactly a page out of Cody's ladies book, but we're about the same size. You'll feel better in some civilized duds. Then when Doc gets finished with you, get some food into you, yeah, it's gonna be all right. A little outdated, maybe. I don't suppose those tattoo marks of yours will ever catch on in high society, but, you know, they ain't near as bad as you think. Give us a couple of months and you'll forget you ever saw an Indian.
I thought I could, but I can't. I'll be going back afterwards.
Back to the Indian? No, you can't do that.
Look at my face. What else can I do?
Well, a lot of things I could think of besides going back to a pack of vultures.
I used to think they were. I used to think they were nothing but a bunch of animals. Now I'm not so sure.
What did you mean when you said you go back afterwards? After what?
After I finish what I came here to do.
What is that?
Kill a man.
I'll turn you loose, boy. And nobody's gonna hurt you. Just wish I could be sure the other way around.
You ain't exactly friendly, are you, boy?
Why should I be?
Just relax now. We're gonna get you some nice, clean clothes, ain't we?
Where's Molly?
He's all right. A doctor's looking after her.
I want to see her.
You'll see her soon enough.
If anyone hurts her, I'll kill him.
Look, I don't care what the Comanches taught you. You're back among your own people now, and you're not going to kill anybody. Now, nobody's going to hurt your friend. But you can get hurt if you don't stop acting like an Indian.
I am an Indian.
All right, there's all kinds of Indians. But you better figure out what kind you're going to be. Start by trusting us. We want to be your friends. Now, how about it, Rome?
I had friends. I made enemies of them when I ran away. She told me how good it would be to come back to our own people. But they welcomed us with guns and a rope. Now I have no friends. If I do what you want, can I see her?
Maybe tomorrow, when things calm down. Maybe even tonight.
All right. For now.
You probably don't feel much like sleeping, but you take one of these pills and you will. Go on, it's good for you. 13 years, you say?
That's what she said.
Aside from those old scars and a few minor signs of malnutrition, I'd like to prescribe 15 years for some of my patients. Under more pleasant circumstances. Molly, you're as sound and fit as a buffalo calf.
Doc, is there anything you can do about, you know?
No. No, I'm sorry, not a thing in the world. But Molly, you're not the first white woman that's had that done to her. Olive Oatman out in Arizona was tattooed in very much the same way. She came back, she's alive, and she's happy, and there's absolutely no reason you can't be like her. Kate, I'll send up a tonic for her. Make sure she gets lots of sleep and some good civilized food. I'll check by sometime tomorrow. And Molly, for what it's worth, welcome back to civilization.
See, everything's gonna be all right. Now, you forget about going back to those Indians. You're with your own folks now. Get some sleep.
Would you do something for me?
Anything.
Find Rome.
Oh, they got him out at the wagon train. Molly, I told you before, the less you have to do with Indians from now on...
He's not an Indian.
Half-breed? You mother him?
They brought him to the camp right after they took me. I don't know who his parents were, but I raised him.
You're full of surprises, ain't you? All right, I'll bring him to you when you wake up, but that won't be for some time now. Them pills are Doc's and poleaxe is steer. See?
Thank you. I'll never know how I get mixed up in these things. Squaw turns out white. Worcester charges in here to say the boy turns out white. You're so all fired worked up you won't let me have my supplies. And white or red, I have a fledgling Comanche brave chained up in my wagon train. And all I want to do is get underway.
You can't. You gotta stay here and help me.
Kate, I have more than 500 people yelling at me to get underway. All right, I feel sorry for Molly and the boy. Only I've got troubles of my own. Now, will you please unlock that warehouse of yours and let me have my supplies?
No.
Well, why not? I've paid for it.
Chris, you know how this town feels about Indians. You're the only person I can turn to for help.
Well, let the authorities
Oh,
take
Bob
care of it.
Kincaid's the biggest man we've got. You
Well,
know how he feels about Indians.
What am I supposed to do about it?
I don't know, but you better start thinking, because I ain't giving you your supplies until you agree to help me.
Kate, be reasonable. We've got the boy safe on the wagon train. You've got Molly out of harm's way. Now, there's nothing more we can do right now.
It's not the boy. He can bounce. It's her. 13 years at the mercy of them Comanches. Now, you know what she went through, young and pretty as she must have been.
Kate, now be practical. You can't expect to rehabilitate this woman all by yourself. You know, some folks would say that any white woman who's Been with the Indians that long under any circumstances, too far gone to have.
Well, a lot of folks ought to get hit in the head. Is that the way you think?
No, it's not the way I think, but you're getting too involved in this thing, and I don't want to be. Now, all I'll do is keep the boy out of harm's way for a while, and that's as far as I will go.
There's something I didn't tell you.
Well, I don't want to hear it. Call in the government. They're supposed to help escape captives. Anyway, she's not the first white woman to escape from the Indians. Leave her alone. Maybe she'll come around by herself. Give her a little time.
Well, that's just it. I ain't sure she's gonna give us any time.
There's no time for riddles.
Well, we got one. Who's the man she came here to kill? Oh, I'd be watching her like a buzzard, except Doc gave her a pill that put a buffalo to sleep.
You don't know who she was talking to?
No, all she said was I came back to kill a man.
Hello, boss.
Hello. Well, Bob Kincaid, long time no see.
Hello, Chris.
What's the matter, Bob?
Well, someone just tried to bushwhack me.
What? Where?
Out there on Elm.
See who it was?
No, I didn't.
Chris? When you use my gun to try to kill somebody, replace the empty cartridge. Now, you tried to kill Bob Kincaid. Why?
I never left this room.
Comanches teach you to lie like that? I've known Bob Kincaid for years. He's one of the nicest fellows in this part of the country. Well, what have you got against him?
Now, look here, Kate.
What do you want?
You've got a squaw up here. You ought to know hotel policy better than that.
There's no Indian up here.
Well, just about every guest in the hotel saw her. That's her right there. Now, you've got to get her out, Kate, right now.
This woman is not a squaw.
That's right. Her name is Molly. What's your last name, Molly?
Smith.
Molly Smith. Well, she certainly looks like an Indian to me.
Well, she just escaped from the Comanches. You want to throw her out because of that?
I haven't taken a single scalp since I ran away. Does that make you feel any better?
Oh, well, oh, no offense. I just didn't know, you know. Now, Kate, if she stays here with you...
I know. That'll be $5 a week instead of $3.
That's the rule. Yeah. Well, Miss Smith, I hope you'll be comfortable here.
For $5 a week, I could keep a basket full of rattlesnakes up here. Oh, I'm sorry, Molly. No offense.
Al, I think when...
What's the matter, Earl? Someone skin you out of a night's rent?
You seen her? You seen that squaw woman that Kate stuck up with?
She's white, mister.
Maybe so, on the outside. But underneath, I'd tell you that she's pure Comanche.
What's all this about? Woman rode in today. Got away after 13 years with the Indians.
And after that long, still can't be white.
I reckon that depends on how she feels about it.
No, it doesn't. 1 year, 10 years, 15 years. If you've lived with an Indian, you're an Indian.
I take it you don't like him very much.
Do I have any reason to? Somebody ought to go upstairs and put a bullet through that woman's head. It'd be mercy.
I think I'll throw her out.
I wouldn't advise that, mister.
Are you telling me how to run my hotel?
Yep. That part of it.
Well, maybe so. But I've got my guests to think of.
Kate Crowley's a guest, isn't she? I don't hear her complaining.
Son, you shouldn't be standing up for a squaw woman.
She's still a woman.
I want to help you, Molly, but we can't do it all by ourselves.
That's right.
You'll have to trust us.
The last time I trusted anyone was 13 years ago.
Who was that?
Robert Kincaid. I'm his wife.
Molly Kincaid is dead.
All right, so I'm dead. It's no surprise to me.
Do you know what you're saying? If you're lying, do you know what it'll do to him?
And if I'm not lying, what'll it do to him?
Molly Kincaid is buried just outside of town.
Look, I'm standing here. I'm occupying space right in front of you. Don't keep telling me I'm dead.
Molly, what really happened?
We homesteaded near here. Him and me and the baby. There wasn't any town then. Just our house and the river. Nobody lived around for maybe 10 or 15 miles. One day the Comanches moved in. He saw the sign that afternoon. We waited all night, but finally we thought maybe they wouldn't come at all. Martha, my baby, was frightened at first, but pretty soon it was like a game. Staying up so late, playing with her doll. Robert seemed so confident. Then, just at dawn...
Run, Molly. Run!
Robert, the baby! No! No! Let me go! No! The baby!
I remember I was tied up like a bag of corn for what seemed like days. When I realized what they'd done to me, I wanted to die. I prayed, oh, dear Lord, please let me die. I don't know how long it went on, how many weeks or months or years, until I actually started to feel like an Indian, even think like one. I only know that after a while I realized I didn't want to die. No matter how they treated me or what they did to me, I wanted to live. Oh, how I wanted to live. Because I wanted to come back and find the man who put me there. Find him. The one who killed my baby and me. One day the Braves came back from a raid on a wagon train.
Kuba, Nechbe, Qua Hadi, Qua.
No, no, ne wani koya nerian. That's a squire. That's how I met Rome. I couldn't have made it without him. They never beat me anymore. No more than any squaw is beaten by her men. They made a brave out of him, of course. But while he learned to speak Comanche, I made sure he never forgot his English. They were trying to make an Indian out of him, but I was keeping him white.
He grew up as a Comanche warrior and is my son.
Humbug J
Speak English.
was their army. 7 of them. They fought bravely, but
How did they die?
they died well, like braves.
Be proud of them then. They were your brothers.
I always promised I'd bring him back one day. Back to his own people. Here we are.
You're going to show him how civilized people live by killing Bob Kincaid?
You think I shouldn't? You think I should just go away and pretend like the last 13 years never happened?
I don't know what to say. You sure won't forget it.
He killed my baby. And he gave me to the Comanches. If he'd only killed me before he started to run, but he didn't even do that.
There's a lot you don't know.
Look at my face. What else is there to know? I want to see Rome.
He's all right. I'm going to see him right now.
I'll go with you.
Wait a minute. There's something I'd like to show you first.
What?
Oh, something beautiful, some flowers, and something else.
So that's where I am.
Kind of pretty, ain't it?
I'd appreciate it more if I were dead.
Cost your husband a pretty penny. The church is yours. He paid for it in your name. Reckon he must have loved you.
He showed how much he loved me.
Boy, he got scared. There's no excuse for what he did, but men get scared sometimes.
Is this what you had to show me?
Well, it's part of it. Here comes the rest.
Hello, Mrs. Crowley. Lovely day, isn't it?
Pretty as a day-old calf. Miss Smith, this is Martha Kincaid.
Is Robert Kincaid your father?
Yes.
And your mother?
My mother's here. You know, Daddy says Mother loved flowers. Oh, I know. Some folks think it's silly to keep fresh ones here all the time. But, well, they're so beautiful, aren't they? Daddy always manages to get them, even in the winter. He brings them in from Wichita on a stage.
Miss Smith is an old friend of your family, Martha.
Oh, really? How wonderful. I don't think I've ever heard Daddy speak of you, but...
That was a long time ago.
Have you seen him yet?
Not yet.
Well, she just got in town. Oh, don't mention this to your father. I think Miss Smith wants to surprise him.
Miss Smith, if you knew my father, perhaps you knew my mother, too.
I knew her.
Could you tell me about her?
Some other time, honey. Miss Smith has had a hard trip.
I'm so sorry. But I'll look forward to talking to you again. Goodbye, Miss Smith. Goodbye.
That was rough, wasn't it?
It can't be. They killed her.
They didn't. Kincaid went back. The story he told everyone was that he was in town shopping for supplies. When he got back, the house was burned. He found your body. But the baby was all right. They didn't kill her. I don't know why.
They told me they did. Over and over again for years.
Oh, I reckon that was some kind of a joke. Just another way to hurt you.
She's my baby.
Sure she is. But she's his also.
I stayed behind to protect her. He ran away. She's mine. What right has he got to her?
He's raised her to love and respect her mother. She has everything money can buy.
Everything except a mother. He can't buy that for her. Oh, what am I gonna do? I thought she was dead.
I figured if you knew she was still alive, things might be a little different.
How can I tell her? Did you see the way she looked at me like I was a freak of some kind?
No, I didn't see anything like that.
What am I gonna do? Kate, help me. Please help me.
I don't have to spell it out for you. You're old enough to know what she went through, young and pretty as she must have been.
Poor woman. But, well, believe me, Mrs. Crowley, I don't want to sound hard, but
Well, after so many years, isn't she more Indian than she is white woman?
You don't like Indians very much, do you?
No, I hate them. They killed my mother and they destroyed my father's life. Oh, I know all about them. Daddy's told me.
I'll bet he has.
Doesn't Miss Smith have anyone? Somewhere, a family?
Yes, she has. A daughter, and she could help.
Oh, then let's find her.
I already have.
Oh, that's wonderful. Where is she?
Right here.
Here? In this town?
She's your mother, Martha.
Oh, what are you saying? Oh, my mother's dead.
No. She's with your father right now. Ask him.
No. My mama is buried in the churchyard, you see. Daddy buried her there himself, you know. Oh, she's dead.
She's not dead. You talked to her earlier. Now I want you to talk to her again.
Oh, but you see, if she isn't dead, then who is buried?
I don't know. Maybe nobody. Child, I'd rather she tell you herself. Your mother needs help. Will you help her?
Yes.
Good. Oh, and remember one thing. No matter what your father has done, he's the same man you always have known in the past.
Now you give him them duds or I'll fill your hide full of rock salt.
They're mine. It ain't no more. I'm gonna burn them.
Look, hot water is bad medicine. So is rock salt. Now give him them.
What's the matter? He giving you boys a hard time?
Well, I'm fixing to burn his studs, but he won't give them to me. Mr. Wooster's got a fine outfit for him, too.
Won't even get in the water. He smells like a wolf cub.
Come on, Rome. A little water won't hurt you none.
He makes too much noise.
Hey, you want to see Molly, don't you? From what I hear, she's all dressed up like society stuff. You gotta look the part, too. Among other things.
Will we go back to see her?
I promise.
All right.
See how easy it is?
Now that's more like it. Get in there and I'll heat some more water. Come on. Come on now. Get in that tub. Get out of here. That ain't decent. Get away from me. Walk.
Whoa there.
I'm sorry, Mr. Hawks.
Hey, you better put a bridle on this filly, Freeman.
Well, sometimes I ought to. Maribel, what have you been? Now, you stay away from him, girl.
Oh, I wasn't doing anything, Father.
You know, your pa's right. Rome's a good kid by his own standard, but his standard happens to be Comanche right now.
He's not an Indian. You said so yourself.
Sure, but he thinks he is. Now, you mind your paw. Let's go look at that horse.
Remember one thing, no matter what he's been in the past, he's been a good father to girl.
You think that's enough?
I don't think. Frankly, all we have to go on is your word.
You'll see.
What can I do for you, Mr. Hale?
You can relax, for one thing. She's not carrying a knife.
Well, that's a help.
Tell Bob Kincaid we want to see him.
We? Now, Mr. Hale, you know how he
He'll
feels.
see us. Relax, Molly.
I don't know how.
You mean he came in here with a squaw woman? You know better than that.
He insists on seeing you.
Hale, now you get that squaw woman out of here before I take a whip to her. Molly. Molly. Best day for business I've had in weeks. He's all right. He's had a shock, and I can't say that I blame him, but he's not going to die from it.
So much the worse for him.
Are you really his wife? She's really his wife. Well, won't that blow the cork off the bottle?
I want to talk to him alone.
Later, maybe. Now he's going to sleep for a while. I give him a pill. Which reminds me, young lady, I gave you a pill. You must have cheeks like a chipmunk. Molly, if you won't take my medicine, I hope you'll take my advice. You may have ample reason to kill him, but don't.
She won't. I'll see to it. Come on, Mrs. Kincaid.
Don't call me that.
All right. Molly, we can come back tomorrow morning.
Pretty girl, huh? That's too bad about her, though. Probably couldn't scrape a buffalo hide worth a darn. Or gut out an antelope. Oh, here she cooks pretty good. Makes good biscuits. Somebody told me she plays the piano a little. Well, I guess nobody can be perfect at everything.
What do you think they'd want for?
What?
Ponies, blankets, buffalo hides?
Boy, you do have a lot to learn. We better start learning about haircuts. Sit down. Charlie, get the axe. We gotta make a clearing on this boy's head.
Hold still.
She's very pretty.
Well, you ain't, so hold still.
Mister?
Yeah.
What does she mean when she makes that sound?
Means she likes you, I guess. Will you hold still?
I like her, too.
Hello, Robert.
You're dead.
Go ahead. It's warm. It's not soft and smooth anymore, but there's blood in it.
I thought you were dead.
Why? Did you find my body? Did you really bury me in that fancy tomb?
I thought they killed you.
Why should they kill me, Robert? I was young and pretty then. I had a face like a human being, skin like a woman. Now, why should they kill me? What's the matter? Don't you like to look at me? You used to tell me how beautiful I was. Don't you think I'm pretty? You see, that's why I'm here, my loving husband. Because I'm not beautiful anymore. So they really didn't care whether I ran away or not. Don't worry. Everything's going to be just exactly the way it was before I went away.
What do you mean?
Well, I've come home. To my husband, My baby, I've come home.
You've lived with the Indians for 13 years. Now, don't you think I know what that means?
Why, of course, darling. It means one gay, mad, giddy fling. Why, there were parties and cotillions and dancing underneath the stars. Oh, it was exhausting. But a girl does love to be courted. But it wasn't your fault, my darling. You did everything you could. Everything except act like a man.
You've got to go. You've got to get out of here.
A wife's place is with her husband.
You've got to get out of here. You think you can just walk back in here after what you've done?
After what I've done. I thought you might forgive me for staying alive through 13 years of hell.
Don't you think I know what I did? I've carried it around inside me all these years. I prayed over and over again that they'd kill you quickly.
I forgot how to pray.
I did the best I could. I tried to make it up. I raised the girl the best I could. I raised her to be just like you were.
I know. I've seen her.
You told her?
No, I haven't told her.
You can't tell her. You've got to show some mercy. She's all that I have.
All that you have is my baby. Who made the payment on her life, you or me?
She loves me.
Will she still love you when she finds out the truth about you?
No, I've done very well here. I've made quite a bit of money.
Money. We've captured a paymaster, Robert. Yes, we Comanches. He had $30,000 in currency on him. The Braves staked him out and put that money on his bare belly and cooked him with it. That's what we think of money. You made an Indian out of me. Now I'm going to make an Indian out of your daughter.
About some coffee, Miss Chris? A little later, I think, Charlie. Rome, for a boy who learned to eat the Comanche way, you're not doing very well, are you?
I'm not very hungry. Mr. Hale, everybody here the same tribe?
Well, not exactly the same tribe. We're all the same nationality, but we're all from different states, different countries, even different political parties.
Not of the same tribe, yes?
Well, what's that have to do with her, Rome?
Little papooses who stick their noses in the snapping turtle shells sometimes have to learn to smell with their ears. I think I will take a walk now.
What was that all about?
Oh, about 15 and a half with blonde hair.
I told her, Molly.
Ever since I was a little girl, I put flowers on my mother's grave. Now, Mrs. Crowley tells me you're my mother. And if you are, then what is my father?
You had a little rag doll. You used to call her Sissy. And you wouldn't go to bed without her.
Mother.
Ruby, I'm so sorry.
Oh, Mother. Oh.
I am young man ashamed of his eyes.
Well, I declare, I don't know why you are. I think they're very cute.
That is my name. Come. Three horses.
Of course.
They are good horses. I picked them myself.
They're very pretty horses.
Do you like them?
Oh, I'm sure they're very nice. Is that all you wanted me for?
Do you think your father would like them?
I suppose so. He likes good horses.
Good. Now they are his, and you're mine. Come. Come. Come.
Stop it! Daddy! Daddy, help me! Somebody!
Good.
Somebody help! Daddy, help! Daddy, help!
Rome! Stay here, Barney.
That Indian tried to kidnap my daughter. I'll kill him.
Wait a minute, Freeman, calm down. Chris, those horses.
Oh, well, no wonder he wanted to know if we were all in the same tribe.
Are you going to get that Indian or not?
You don't understand, Freeman.
Did you get a good look at him, his face?
Well, sure I did. It was all muddy like an animal.
Painted, like any respectable Comanche bridegroom. He figured Mary Belle liked him. He knew he liked her, so he went out and stole 3 horses. That's not bad payment for a girl.
You didn't know any better, Freeman.
Bill, you better go tell Coop to find his young friend and explain a few things.
Right.
You mean it was kind of a proposal?
Mary Belle.
You mean he wanted to marry me?
Well, it looks that way.
Why? Oh, what a sweet thing.
Come on, Maribel.
Mr. Hale, is that how the Indians get a girl? Just give her folks a couple horses?
Yeah, pretty pitiful, isn't it?
Pitiful. Well, I thought Indians were supposed to be uncivilized. That's a great idea.
But, young man, you and I better find a place to talk. Someplace quiet with lots of birds, bees. Oh, it's the same with people. Like Rome getting his face all painted up with mud. That's sort of like a male bird when he gets fresh new feathers.
Yeah, but Rome didn't dance. He just grabbed her.
Well, confound it, he's not a bird. I mean, it's different with people.
Yeah, but you just said that the birds and the bees do the same things that people do.
I know what I said, Barney. But what I meant was... Oh, Barney, if you were either a little older or a lot younger. Oh, excuse me, Barney. I've got something to take care of here. You just remember what I told you so far.
But, Mr. Hale, you haven't told me anything so far.
You're Tim. Howdy, Chris. You want to sit in?
I'd like a word with you.
Yeah, as soon as I finish this hand.
Well, I imagine these gentlemen won't mind.
You boys mind waiting a minute?
Maybe a long minute. Get my message?
Which one?
Bill Hawks didn't find you?
Nope.
Well, that's too bad. Consider yourself lucky. Your yearling Comanche just tried to buy himself a bride and almost got himself killed.
He what?
And then he stole a horse, and then he ran away. And now you're going after him, and I mean now.
Now?
If not sooner.
Now, wait a minute, Chris. Look at that hand. I stand a chance to clean up.
I imagine he's halfway to the State Plains by now, or will be if you don't get a move on.
If he can ride like the other Comanches I've seen, it could take me a week.
That's entirely possible. But since you brought him here, and since you promised to take care of him, well, sir, if it takes you a week, I'll miss you.
Oh, well, I'll tell you this. When I find him, I'm gonna wring his uncivilized neck. That's the best poker hand I've had all year.
Well. Well, boys, since I took Coop away from you, I suppose I should finish out his hand here for him, no matter how much it costs me.
Mother, there was only something I could do to make it all up to you.
You're doing it now, darling.
Well, I don't understand how Daddy could have done it. What he said just wasn't true.
Maybe he just didn't want you to go through life wondering what happened to me.
No. You see, he told me everything. About how he came back from town and he found you dead and me crying. What really happened?
Go ahead, tell her. That's what you came here for, isn't it?
You love your father, don't you?
Very much, but I've got to know the truth.
Then you ask him.
Will you come with me?
No, I'll wait for you here.
All right. Oh, Mother, I'm so happy.
Well, what are you going to do now?
I don't know. But whatever it is, I'm going to do it with my child. I suppose I'll go away somewhere.
Oh, you can't take her away, Molly.
She's my daughter.
Sure, and she should be with her mother, but where? Back east someplace with no husband or man to look after either one of you? End up in some cheap saloon? Or maybe worse?
What do you want me to do? I'm not a thing. I'm a person. I have a place in this world. Look at me. I'm Molly Kincaid, and I'm only 32 years old. And I'm not dead. I'm alive. You know, I get the funniest feeling that whenever people look at me, they don't really see me. That I'm not really there. But I am. I'm here. In God's name, doesn't anybody know that?
Why don't you ask him?
Who?
God. You believe in God, don't you?
I used to.
Well, let's just say for argument's sake that you were right. You think God's going to be surprised to find out that you're still alive? You think he doesn't know what's happened to you? Your daughter is out looking for her father. Why don't you go look for yours?
Father, don't lie to me.
Martha, no matter what you think I am, or what I ever said I was, I never made any claim to be a brave man. I'm a coward. I'm a coward. I never knew it until the day the Comanche came. I broke, that's all. I became so terrified I ran. I couldn't think. Everything I loved in the world was in that house, my wife, my baby. But I ran. It's very easy for you to condemn me, isn't it? But do you know how it was? Yes, it's true I ran, but I came back. Within the hour, I came back. I was going to find the animals who by now had killed my wife and baby if I had to chase them around the world.
Well, you didn't chase them very far.
Well, don't you know why? Because I found you alive. And that was a miracle. Now, how could I possibly hope for two? The Comanches always killed their captives. Your mother was dead. I knew that. I couldn't help her, but my baby was alive. Well, haven't I been a good father? Everything I've done for you, just so you could have everything you wanted.
Except my mother.
Your mother's dead.
She's waiting for me.
That's not your mother. That's a Comanche squaw.
Then I'm a Comanche squaw's daughter, and I'm done.
Oh, my baby, I didn't I never meant to.
Are you finished? Or would you like to hit me some more?
Shut up a minute!
I could sit on you all day if I have to. Just about got me worn out. What were you trying to do, make it all the way back to the Stake Plains?
I can't live like white men. Nothing they do makes sense. What kind of people are you? You can't fight your enemies. You can't protect your friends. You can't even get married, not even for a little while.
I told you we do things different around here. First thing, we don't kill men, we turn them over to the law. What were you gonna do, just run away? Were you gonna leave Molly?
Well, I don't know.
Boy, if I let you up, will you listen to me?
All right. But I won't believe a thing you say.
Chris! Chris, have you seen Molly? I've been looking for her for hours.
Oh, no.
Well, Kincaid's missing, too.
Well, we better find her.
Molly! Molly!
Rome. Rome. I nearly didn't recognize you.
Are you all right?
You're almost white already. An Indian wouldn't ask a woman that.
Rome has something he wants to tell you.
I can't stay here with so many people like this, Molly. Can't do anything right. Everybody's got different rules.
He's got a lot of rough edges, Molly. He tries to work them off here in civilization. People are gonna get snagged.
Coop said Mr. Hale would let me go with the train. I'd work my way. Maybe even all the way to that ocean they talk about.
Maybe it would be better if you did go with the train. Better for you. Maybe you could find your family, or a brother or a sister. Maybe even your real mother.
You're my mother, Molly.
I love you, my son.
I love you too, Mother.
I'm sorry I'm late, Molly. I wanted to be on time. But something has happened. I've tried so hard, Molly. All the years I've been coming up here and talking to you, I tried so hard to let you know how much I loved you. How I've tried to make it all up to you. Everything I've done, I've done for you. The church and the school I built. How I've tried to help our daughter to grow up to be just like you. I've told you so many times. No matter what they did to you, no matter what happened to you, I knew that you were innocent. I was a coward once, and I killed you. I'm still a coward. I have to keep on running. Can you forgive me?
I'm not in there, Robert. Speak to me here.
You come here to kill me, haven't you?
No, I'm not going to kill you. All I want is my baby, Robert, nothing else.
Oh, Molly, you can't take my baby. She's all I have. Oh, my baby. My Martha. Oh, God.
Oh, Daddy, don't. Please don't. I love you. Please don't. I love you.
Molly, it doesn't have to be the end. It could be the beginning.
It's all over. I'm just someone who claims to be her mother. He's her father. He's raised her. He's won.
Molly, listen to me. He may not be a brave man, but he's a good one. You haven't given him much of a chance.
To do what?
To think. To try to be brave for once in his life. Molly, nobody here can give you the answer. Somebody else might. And there's nobody here to stop you from going inside and asking.
Bob, your family's waiting for you.
Oh, Mother. Such a lovely church. Please come in.
Mrs. Crowley, could I have my supplies?
Oh, I sent them out to the wagon train.
Thanks.
Come on, I'll buy you a beer.
Yeah, Chris, you sure got to admit it. Kate roped you in that whole thing right smart. Her not letting you have those supplies.
Oh, I don't know. Kate can be stubborn at times, but other times she can be right friendly. Two old and good friends, of course.
Sure.
What was that?
Nothing. I just said sure. You're always right, Mr. Chris. Always.
Chris, have you got any idea what Barnaby's up to?
What in blazes are you up to, Barney?
Well, I got to thinking about that man-to-man talk we had. And, well, I couldn't catch any birds, but I got a whole jar of bees. They stung a lot, but I figured it'd be worth it if what you said was true. Well, doggone it, Mr. Hale, I've been watching them all night, and they haven't done anything but buzz. Are you absolutely sure that the birds and the bees have the same thing in mind that people have?